What's up everybody, Derek here, and today we are down on the creek and we are going to go over something that I have had tons of questions on, and that is how I cast this bad boy right here, this spinning reel. I don't cast it the normal way that a lot of people cast it, and that is usually with your right hand being right here, or left hand if you're a lefty, but right hand right here and releasing the line. I don't do that. I grab it with my left finger and I can flip, pitch, and cast all in the same motion, and I don't have to take my right hand or move it or anything. I can always grip onto the rod at all times. So I figured this little hole right behind us, we'd go fishing with this little bitty wax worm right there, super light, 1/32 ounce jig. So I'm gonna show you how to flip, pitch, and cast a light jig. So let's get over here and catch some fish, hopefully. All right, I've got this little 1/32 ounce jig head right here, and we're gonna start flipping or pitching, whatever you wanna call it. Basically what I do here is I just flip the bell and grab the line with my left finger. Now what I can do then, if you've ever worked a bait caster or any other, you can actually flip and pitch like this, but what I use is I pendulum the bait to my advantage. Even though this is a super light setup, I can pendulum. Now watch, pendulum it out, let go. Even though that was just like that. And that is how I cast or flip or pitch. So it all started from crappie fishing down on the river. So I'd have a bobber and a minnow, and I'd have it set about 1.5 to 2 foot deep, just about the amount of line that's out right there. And I would grab just like this, and just like what's in front of me, the crappie a lot of times on the river are right in the bushes. Doesn't matter what time of the year, they'll be right in the bushes, right off the bank, because there's not really deep holes where I used to fish. Maybe 8 foot at the most. But what I would do is just like this. I would grab it just like this, and then I would pitch into there and just let the bobber sit there. Now, after a while, I started doing that, and I did that for years like that. And then I reel up to about that much length out. Now all I've got to do is grab it again, and say I wanted to flip and pitch, and it's right over here. Maybe I wanted to flip and pitch. Well, sometimes crappie will come up and they'll just barely pop the surface, especially on riffers. If those minnows are going around, they'll pop the surface. So let's say I'm flipping over here into a bush and I'm getting ready to use that pendulum technique I just talked about, and instead, oh, I see a crappie over there. So I take it just like this, and just like you would normally cast, except releasing with your right finger, I'm releasing with my left. So I could flip and pitch, and then no, I'm gonna change it up. I am gonna cast out. And that is exactly how I developed my technique for basically crappie fishing, creek fishing. And I tried the whole right finger release. It just wasn't for me. It felt so awkward. So let's try that again. Now if there was a bush over here, I could literally flip and pitch right into it, just like that. Or if I was gonna flip and pitch into it again and then I change my mind, I can cast. I know you can do similar with your right release finger, but being able to hold the line to flip and pitch, you can do it. I mean, it's so awkward for me. And if I look, I like to hold the rod just like this. It just feels so comfortable. Now, if I'm gonna release, I have little hands, all right? I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm short and I have little hands. So if I flip the bell, it's just awkward to get the line, and then there I am, way down here. No, it just doesn't feel comfortable. So if I was gonna cast, I would do it like this because it feels more natural. Now, of course, I can cast like that, but look where my hand's at. Then I gotta bring it back down, and then I'm switching hands, and oh, and we caught a fish on the drop. Ooh, nice. Good little dude. But let's say I can cast decently far. Well, the whipping action, which doesn't always sound good, but it's the whipping action that I can actually use to cast this thing on out here, and I can be really, really accurate when I'm casting. Now, you hear that flip. Yeah. And that is basically my cast with a super light lure too. Oh, we just had a bite right there. But let's say you're around trees and other stuff. You got overhanging trees, you're on the creek, you're in tight quarters. You're not gonna be able to do that overhand cast. Maybe you need to do a side cast. Well, I can still side cast. Just like that, and I'm doing the same thing. I've just learned to use everything right here. The only negative I have to say with casting like that is if the reel is sitting like this and I do grab it, when I go to cast, that happens right there. That's the only negative that I have out of all this. But I don't have to move my hand the entire time. I can use this finger right here. So very easily, I can cast like that. I can do backhand. I can do all that stuff. Overhand, and then let out a little more line, and I'm flipping and pitching. And I haven't moved one hand. It is so versatile. It's almost like being on a turret and being a sniper whenever you're creek fishing, because if you see fish, let's say I was too close to doing overhand right here, and I could flip and pitch right in there. So I let out just the right amount of line, and I want to flip and pitch, but then I look over and there's a bass. Bam. Same position, haven't changed nothing. And then all of a sudden I'm just covering water, and then it just becomes second nature. And that is why it is just so much easier for me to cast just like that. Not a real deep hole, but got a little potential there. Oh, there was a hit right there. There's one. Just a little guy. Nice. Well, guys, I just wanted to show you my technique for basically casting a spinning reel. I've always done it, and I've gotten over the years so many questions on why, and I've had to explain it. And then recently I've gotten a lot of questions and people wondering if it's a more effective technique for casting a spinning reel. But I would have to say so whenever I analyze how the dynamics of the way that you cast with the right trigger finger and all that stuff. I like my way, but that makes me biased too, though, because I developed it over time. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and thanks for watching, you guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.